Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cosmic Circus review. My name's Vin, and with me, as always, is John Dotson.
Hello.
Today, we are doing Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice. Can't say it 3 times. I'm so excited to talk about these movies. Beetlejuice is, one of the all-time classics from the 80s. It's not Tim Burton's first movie. His first movie was Pee-wee's Big Adventure or something. But I think it's really the movie that established who Tim Burton is. It's the movie that led to Batman, 1989, a large reason why we're all here in this superhero space. And it really launched Tim Burton's career, even more than Michael Keaton's. It launched Tim Burton's career, leading to Edward Scissorhands, so many of the classics that we know and love today. The first Beetlejuice movie, 1988, was directed by Tim Burton, with a screenplay by Michael McDowell, Warren Scarron, story by Michael McDowell, Larry Wilson. Starred Alec, Baldwin, and Gena Davis. Fun fact, Gena Davis right now is in Blink twice, but she's not in Beetlejuice 2. Also starred Catherine O'Hara, Wynona Rider, and, of course, Michael Keaton. This new movie, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, 2024, directed by Tim Burton, story by Alfred Gow, Miles Miller. John, do you know who those two are? Do you know what they're famous for?
No idea.
Smallville. We'll talk about that later. The Smallville writers. Also written by Seth Grahame-Smith, starring Michael Keaton, Winona Rider, Catherine O'Hara, returning from the original, plus Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, Jenna Ortega, Willem Dafoe. All right, John, tell me, what is your history with Beetlejuice 1988?
I think Beetlejuice, my history is the same as everybody's. I grew up on it, kind of like Ghostbusters. Like when I think of child horror in a way, that things that can make you laugh and make you a little bit afraid. Think of Beetlejuice. I still got the images, like Alec Baldwin and Gena Davis, whenever they go into that mode where they stretch their faces out.
Oh yeah.
There's a little bit of trauma in my childhood from seeing that. A little bit.
In a good way, right? In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Okay. I appreciate it now. But back then, it was a little scary. Well, a little scary for a kid. For little John.
How old were you the first time?
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6.
Dang, wow.
The thing is, you have to, I don't know if you remember, but there was a time when you did not have streaming services.
I remember.
Things
Okay.
like that, and people would just leave the TV on, and it would be on HBO or something like that, and you just walk into a room, and all of a sudden, Alec Baldwin has a weird face. It's not like somebody just set you down.
This feels like something that would be more on TNT than HBO. But yeah, anyway.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Or even WB, because back then we actually had a station called WB.
Right? WB, but for me, I think it was HBO. I think it was on HBO.
Wow, okay.
But you just be walking by, all of a sudden, weird things are on the TV. It just happened, when you were young.
And so now, how many times have you seen it? You saw it when you were 4, and then?
I haven't seen it a ton. I mean,
me neither.
I will admit that I don't have the same affection for Beetlejuice as a lot of other people.
Okay.
I love Michael Keaton, but I don't have that this property has got a hardcore fan base.
It's like a cult classic, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cult classic. I don't think that I'm in that party, but I appreciate it from afar.
I really love the first Beetlejuice movie. I don't know if I ever saw it as a kid. I'm pretty sure, like you, I probably saw parts. But I think when I was a kid, I thought it's like some weird gross thing. I didn't get it. I came back to it when I was 20 something, and I don't know. I think I saw the DVD on sale or something, and I watched the whole thing. I was shocked, impressed. I loved it that first time. But then, I'm always scared when you love a movie so much that when you rewatch it later, I'm always scared that it won't live up again. I'm terrified of that. Rewatching some of my favorite movies sometimes because I'm scared that it won't live up. So I don't think I've seen this movie a whole lot. Maybe 2-3 times. Yesterday, I saw a double bill. My theater was showing both movies, so I saw it on the big screen. John, it's almost a perfect movie, in my opinion. I love the set design, Danny Elfman's music, Burton at his peak. Michael Keaton, I think this is his most definitive movie, even more than Batman. Because I think this captures all his weirdness, all his horror, even some weird moments where he tries to be sincere or something. And there's no rules. And I love that first movie, even to this day. Yeah.
I would almost say that Beetlejuice is better than most Tim Burton films.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because to me, it's like Tim Burton before he became too much of a name. It seemed like the more he got famous, the more he kind of supported his art in different ways that like he would use different tropes as comfort for him as an artist instead of doing things that were in what gutsy and
Mhm.
bold. It seemed like he got safe
When
in
do you
his.
think that happened? When did Tim Burton break?
I would say Tim Burton got saved around the late 2000s, like late 2000s, like a little bit before Alice in Wonderland.
I think around that time, really, because you have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I think that was for me. I think that's when the balloon burst. Like, oh, Tim Burton,
Yes,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you go to see it, and it's just miscalibrated.
it's
Like you
not
can
good.
see what he was trying to do, but it just doesn't hit. But if you go watch Edward Scissorhands, you go watch Beetlejuice, it will break your heart. Those movies are so good,
They
and
have a
there's so
lot
much
of they
emotion.
have a lot of heart. Yeah,
Absolutely, the emotional heart, and I love like the first movie when I watched it last night again. I was like, it's the most perfect ending for a movie like that. Do you remember how it ends? When did you last watch it?
which one?
The first one. The first one.
First one?
Beetlejuice.
I did not. I did not honestly have a chance to remember. But
Okay.
I hadn't. I did not have a chance to revisit it
Okay.
this week.
So, spoilers for the first Beetlejuice movie. I
Yeah.
mean, if you haven't seen it, why are you here? But we appreciate you. For the first Beetlejuice movie, it's a couple who dies, ghost couple, and then there's a new family that moves into their house, and this new family they don't like them, so the ghosts try to scare them. But these ghosts are very nice people, so they can't. So they need Beetlejuice's help, right? Blah blah blah, hijinks and shoot. At the end of the movie, they're all friends. The ghosts and the family, they're all friends. But there's this daughter in the family, and the daughter doesn't really fit with her parents, but she gets along with the ghosts, and it's this really sweet story that about these ghosts finding the kid that they never got to have, and this daughter finding like validation, finding somewhere she fits, and because she's the only one who can see the ghosts, and it's just this really sweet story, and it ends when like everyone's happy and they're having like a dance party with the ghosts, and it's a weird, funny, silly, just
Sweet,
lovely.
sweet, weird, bizarre.
Yeah, it's not for kids, but it could be. Kids could watch it, but it's really for adults. But it has the heart of like a kids movie.
I think it is a little bit for kids. It just
Okay,
depends
okay,
on my age. Just I think
sure,
like maybe
sure,
like six,
yeah.
seven, maybe like because
The brave ones, right? Like the ones ready for something weird and
yes,
twisted.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and I truly believe the one thing I love about horror, and I know like horror is not for everybody. Like scary movies are not for everyone, but things like Goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Beetlejuice, Are You Afraid of the Dark? All these weird, bizarre things that we had when we were kids. They teach kids how to be brave.
Hmm.
That's what I like about kid friendly horror. It teaches
Yeah,
kids how to be brave.
yeah. And I think this movie also teaches kids to be weird, to be different, and to
To
embrace
be
that
weird.
weirdness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
embrace weirdness. Like the main character was a goth girl in the first. I mean that embrace your weirdness and get crazy. If
And
you
Winona Rider is so good in that role. She
yeah.
fits it perfectly. Like whether it's now you can argue whether you think she's a good actor or not, but and that period of her life, her acting and it's exactly what the character needed. Right? She's perfect in that role. We'll talk about Beetlejuice later, and how well that transitioned. I want to say also for that first movie, we haven't even talked really about the direction of it, because it's Tim Burton really flexing, but his original style that he sets up there, it's all a callback to German expressionism. John, have you ever seen any of those old 1920 movies, or like Cabinet of Caligari or Metropolis or anything like that?
I'm not in Metropolis. No, no, I'm not.
Caligari, Caligari,
I'm not. No, I'm not.
it's good stuff, John.
There,
I'll send you a list.
let
Uh-huh.
me tell you. No, I mean, they're on my list. Like, I can tell you the amount of movies that I like. It would shock you what I haven't seen, and it would
Right.
shock you what I have seen.
That's
I've
fine, man.
seen.
It goes both ways.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I go all over the place.
yeah. But I
Um,
really have a soft spot. I really do have a soft spot for the silent horror movies for the 1920s, the German ones, and Tim
yeah.
Burton. All the weirdness you see in his movies, straight, honestly, like almost one to one. He took that 1920 style and he updated it with modern effects and modern technology, and that's what's so cool about Beetlejuice, even in this new movie, you see like some of the set designs when it gets really weird, all the shapes are twisted and stuff, all the lighting is dramatic. Man, I just love his style. And Danny
Oh,
Elfman with the music. Yeah, yeah.
what are your thoughts on Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice.
You ready to talk about the new one?
And I'm
So I watched them back to back. Okay, back to
right.
back. The only gap in between was like a short bathroom break. Okay, so we watched the first movie, and the theater. Some of us like cleared out. We come back. Second movie starts. It starts almost identical to the first one, and I'm a little bit wary because I'm like, well, they're playing it kind of close,
That's a
and
lot of Beetlejuice. That's a lot. That's a lot of Beetlejuice.
I could have kept
Wrong,
going.
wrong.
I could, but anyway, I there's a lot that's cool about this new movie, and it's easily Tim Burton's best movie in probably like 20 years or something since like those Charlie and the Chocolate Factory days. This is probably the best. He's sometimes the highs are high, like really high. Sometimes it really feels like Burton is back, baby. Sometimes it feels like Netflix. Sometimes it feels like a big Netflix movie. Like when there's Jenna Ortega and that boy, and I'm like, I mean, this is cute, but what are we doing? You know what I mean? And like sometimes there's so many storylines. There's the Jenna Ortega storyline, then there's the Monica Bellucci storyline, the bride, and
Yeah.
I think either of them could be really interesting as their own movies. I wish they dedicated this one to Jenna Ortega's story, then they saved the bride for the third one, and I think that could have been its own great movie because that was freaking wasted in this movie. Okay, you go.
I'm so glad you said some of that because I mostly agree with you. Jenna Ortega is a good actress.
I didn't feel it in this movie.
I did not feel it here. She was in a few scenes that I was like, What happened? Are you just here for the paycheck, I guess? Like, she seemed like she was going through the motions the entire film.
I feel like her character
Um,
doesn't really have an emotional arc, really. She has like she learns something about her mom at the end, but that's not emotions. I
she,
I I,
she,
I
seems, she seems to be there to get Gen Z in the theater, and that's it. Like, that's all. It's like, hey, look, we have Gena Ortega.
and I think
Come
it's
see our
working, dude.
movie.
There was a lot of young people in my theater, a lot
There
of kids.
was. Yeah, there was a lot of people there. I think so the one thing that I will say is that it's very stylish. I love the way it
Sometimes,
visually
sometimes, yeah,
I love the way it visually looks. I think the production design is so ridiculous and bonkers at times. Like I
in a
would be
good
like
way. Yeah.
looking I would be looking in the background and everything, and kind of chuckling to myself at
Did you
little
know? Did
visual.
you did you know Danny DeVito was in this?
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean, I knew that. Yeah,
I didn't know that. So when you
yeah,
see him
yeah.
from
You
behind,
knew.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
is that? And then you hear the voice, I'm like, oh, it is. Oh, that was a great.
It's got a great cast. I think the one thing I thought about when I came back home
Yeah.
is that there used to be a time before Batman where Michael Keaton was funny.
Oh,
He
you're
was
going way
really
back.
funny.
Yeah.
Like he did a lot of comedies. And the one thing I kept thinking when I was watching this, we need more of that.
Mhm.
Because he is so funny in this film.
He's
So
perfect.
funny.
He's
Every
perfect.
single moment in Beetlejuice when he's on the screen, the movie just comes to life. It becomes funny, charming, like it feels like 'cause there used to be a Beetlejuice cartoon that I watched when I was younger.
I missed it. I never watched it.
There was, man, there was. It was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Was it
If, dude, I was a kid. I was a kid.
okay?
Who knows? It's like the
Okay.
Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not great now, but when I was younger, I was like, "Wow, Ghostbusters!" It reminded me of that though.
Okay.
It felt like I was watching a Saturday morning cartoon every time he was on there. Every time I felt like a kid every time he was on there.
That's I have an interesting comparison because this has the Smallville writers, as I mentioned. Did you ever watch
Yeah,
Smallville?
that was like a thing that I
Okay. I
never
grew up with it. I've
experienced.
seen every episode, some many times.
I
Yeah.
know a
So
bunch of people love it. I know all these people that are diehard fans of it. It was just it's kind of like Lost.
mhm.
It is a generational experience
You're not gonna. You're not.
that I never
It's
got
too
on
late.
board.
Okay. The
It's too
Smallville
late.
train is passed. But
I'm
anyway,
way past it. Yeah,
we're way on a tangent. Superman and Lois is better Smallville. But anyway, so I've seen every episode of Smallville. The two guys who wrote this movie are the Smallville guys. They're the showrunners. And the worst parts of this movie are Smallville problems. Smallville is a soap opera, and like the way this like cuts between storylines and it's juggling so many storylines, it feels like Smallville. The biggest problem is that Bride, and her entrance is so cool. When she starts the movie, I was like, I know what this movie is. This is gonna be awesome, and they never pay that off. It's just it's not even a funny gag. It's just a waste of space. And Willem Dafoe too. He's so cool. He steals every scene. What is he doing? It's,
Okay, first off,
yeah.
you watch yourself now. You
Okay.
watch yourself now. Willem Dafoe is a masterpiece in
No.
this
Yes.
film,
Of course. But the script. The script.
but
What is it doing with him?
but it doesn't matter. He's amazing. I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care. He's great. Give him all the worthless roles. Give him everything like that.
Oh, he's
Um,
so funny in this though. He's really funny.
but Monica Bellucci is completely wasted in this film. She's introduced and in the movie just completely just like neglects her for another hour, and then all of a sudden she reappears at the end.
Bad.
So
Bad.
pretty
Bad.
bad,
Bad. Yeah.
pretty bad. Still, and about your Smallville
Hmm.
conversation,
Hmm.
every single sequence with Jenna Ortega is like a CW romance.
Dude, yeah, it was like some
Yeah,
Netflix or a CW to, yeah.
yeah, it was pretty bad. It was
And
pretty bad.
I like romance. I like rom coms. And this, I was just like, I mean, it's okay, but what are we doing? This doesn't fit in this movie. Let's do spoilers really quick because I want to make a point.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers.
There we go.
Ah!
Spoilers. Get
Spoilers.
out.
If you haven't seen the movie, Ghost will haunt you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jenna Ortega, her boyfriend. How quickly did you clock that he was a ghost?
Honestly, I didn't. I did
Oh,
not.
it was
I
my
did
first
not
thought.
get to.
I thought, you know what I thought? When she's going down on her bike and she hits the tree, she hit it really hard on her head. I thought she was dead. When she goes down on her bike and hits the tree, and then there's no scar, I was like, okay, so she's dead, and this is a ghost boy, and that's why he doesn't have any friends. Then they go into his house later, and you never see the parents' faces. I was like, okay, so they're also dead, and their faces are scarred. So I was pretty
You know,
close, in fact. I was pretty
you
close.
know why I think I didn't catch it though?
Why?
Because I didn't care.
Because you were
Like,
sleeping.
yeah, I didn't care because every moment that she was a part of it, I didn't care. I had no attachment to her. I didn't really feel what she was doing.
Yeah.
I think the angry daughter trope felt kind of tired.
And it's much weaker than the first movie. In the first movie, when
Yeah,
Winona Rider does it, bam, it works. In this movie, it's like lifeless because she's just not different or weird enough. I don't know what it just.
no,
And the script isn't there either. What did you think about Catherine O'Hara and Winona Ryder returning?
I think Winona Rider is a revelation in this movie because there are no I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious. There were two scenes in this film where I was like chuckling out loud. The
What was that?
so funny.
I thought she was the weakest of the returning ones, especially watching it right after the first one. I was like, the first one she has so much charm, and this one I didn't feel it. And it's really interesting because in the script, the way she's written, it feels like she's a slightly different character now. And even her mom says, "You need to go back to the goth girl you used to be." You
Yeah.
remember that? So I was like, why does she look the same? If she's acting so differently a little bit, and she's forgotten who she used to be, why does her hair the same? They should have given her a different haircut, a different style, make her more like a normal person, and then her movie arc is reclaiming the weird girl she used to be,
Yeah,
in
but
my
dude, like
opinion.
Tim Burton is not capable of that kind of nuance anymore. Like it's I'm just being serious.
Yeah,
Tim Burton, I mean, like, okay, for example, when you go back and look at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the most simplest things would be just over the top. Charlie's house was like tilted, like a leaning tower of pizza, just
yeah, yeah.
like for no reason it just was like crooked. And in the original, it was just a rundown house, like it's more relatable,
Completely, and that's the
completely
beauty of it.
relatable.
Yeah.
Everything doesn't like he's not very capable of being understated.
Hmm.
The only time that I've ever felt Tim Burton kind of like hold back is with Big Fish, and I know you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Dude, if I
I'll
could
try. Yeah.
recommend any of his films, that is the one that you gotta watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Amy Adams, right?
Is Amy Adams in it? I can't remember.
John, I haven't seen it.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time, but I do remember. I know who's in it. Like it's got Steve Buscemi
Okay.
and one of those old man actors. You know, like, he hasn't been around in a long time. He died a long time ago, but
Okay.
it's good. I'm telling you, it's good.
I
It's
believe you.
good.
I believe.
But anyway, sidebar, not sequitur. He's not very capable of being understated in his work,
Hmm.
which is both why people like him and why also people like me are kind of like, bro, just tone it down a little bit, you know? But even so, I do think it is the most fun that he's had in a movie
You can tell. You can really tell. I'm like,
in a long time.
sometimes, and I want to say too, watching them back to back, the craziest thing was that Michael Keaton was the exact same. Like it was like this, like you just blinked and suddenly everyone's gotten older, but he's still, and in fact, because he's older now, the wrinkles look even better as Beetlejuice. In that
Yep.
first movie, I'm like, he looks really young, but in this new movie, it's like it's the same energy, but even crazier a little bit. Like it, it's just the same. It's the same Beetlejuice. I don't know how
And
he
he
did it. It's
has
perfect.
not lost his step at all.
No, no,
None at all.
this is the role he was born to play, even more than Batman. This is it.
Like he's almost better than he was back then. Though.
Mhm.
Like he's been like saving all this Beetlejuice energy.
He has a bottle of
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
yeah,
Beetlejuice.
just waiting for it for 30 years until he
Oh,
can just like let it out.
yeah.
You
I
know,
thought I thought Catherine O'Hara was good too. Like I don't think she really falls, but she doesn't have a lot to do. But I feel like she really makes the most of what she has. I was pretty happy with her
yeah.
character. Um,
I mean, she's there, but she does what's required of her, and that's fine. I will say I found it kind of fun what they did with the husband,
mhm.
because that actor died, right? You know, the
No,
actor, Captain
I, I
O'Hara.
I don't think he's dead. Like in real life, I think he got canceled for something.
Are we sure about that?
I can check. I'm pretty sure I saw something just saying
Yeah,
that.
I can cut right here to
Okay, one
bring
second. Then
flip the
let me
book.
Google.
Like,
Let me
yeah,
Google. Let me Google. What's his
yeah.
name? Jeffrey Jones. That was it. Uh-huh. Is an American actor and convicted sex offender. Maybe don't cut this. It's funny. That's his first
Again,
time in
yeah.
Wikipedia. Jeffrey Duncan Jones, American actor and convicted sex offender. Nope.
Well, then I'm going. Well, to follow this up, this is now funnier. Why they did that to him in the
Right?
movie? It's
Trump.
funnier.
He just goes around
Yeah,
without a head.
yeah, straight up, just like incredible, incredible
Uh,
work, incredible work.
I was
So
surprised. I was surprised that Danny Elfman did the score for this. I didn't think he would come back, but he did, and I thought the score was really good too.
oh, it doesn't shock me. I mean, like, when has Tim Burton not worked with Danny Elfman though?
I don't know, but also like Danny Elfman, I feel like he's fallen off in recent years too. Like I don't think he's as good as he used to be. But in this
No, he's
movie,
not.
like
He's not.
like
He's
Burton in
definitely.
this movie, they really tried to go back to who they used to be. They really tried. For the most part, I think at least style wise, I think it worked when they were trying.
They're having fun, and at the same time, you can tell they're not doing a lot. Like there's it's minimal and exaggerated all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, if it were Tim Burton, like back in the '90s, I think it would have gone harder than this.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. It
I
really
bet,
would have been crazier. Like just going from like Batman to Batman Returns, it would be that kind of energy.
yeah, it would be wild, exaggerated. I think it would have gone,
Maybe too
but
much.
and the one boy probably too much. But I will say the one thing that does frustrate me about it is that, and I thought about this when I got back home too, was that it doesn't feel like there's anything new. It does feel like there's a lot of the same things
Yeah,
that.
all the good stuff. It was stuff the first movie did. There are some new things. For
Yeah,
example, the bride and the baby, Willem Dafoe, stuff like that. But they
the
don't
baby,
go
yeah.
anywhere. They don't go anywhere. They're so cool. That's why I'm saying just save it for the third movie. You don't put your half baked ideas here because those are good ideas. Save them for the third one. Don't waste
Well, I
them.
mean, what I mean is like the universe. Like I would want
Okay.
more universe expanding. Like the most universe expanding thing that it does is give us the Soul Train. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Oh, I understand what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I don't really need the Soul Train. Like
It
that
was
was,
a funny gag. It was a funny joke that they're all like
yeah,
1970s. Okay.
it's a funny joke, but like that was as far as it went.
Yeah.
But still, I think for the people that want to watch it, that love the first, I think it's a good it's kind of like that thing that we were talking about this week. It feels like a band that got back together
Hmm.
and they're performing again. Like, hey, did you like the show before? Come back and see the show again. We'll play some songs. You
Yeah.
know, we're a
Yeah.
little tired.
I felt when I finished this, like when I finished the movie, like my TLDR was like, it's fun, but it's a sequel for the sake of a sequel. It's like
Yeah,
if you wanted a Beetlejuice sequel, here's a sequel. It's not the great sequel you wanted, but it's another Beetlejuice movie. Enjoy,
yeah,
you know.
pretty much. Yeah,
And I
it's
just
it's it's there. It's made for the fans, and I think the fans will like it. I didn't
enough.
love it. I
Yeah.
didn't love it.
No.
It's enough, but it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's not bad. You know, it's good enough where it'll have a positive Rotten Tomato score, right? Because it's more recommend than not recommend. But
Yeah,
like I just don't think it lives up to the magic of the first one, even when you see them back to back. One last thing I want to mention: the first movie, I love all the practical effects. There's so much practical magic in that first movie,
yeah,
and
yeah,
even when they try to use like computer effects, it looks crappy, but that's part of the charm. And the second movie, even when they're trying to do practical effects, they clean it up with CGI, or they use CGI to look like practical. And I just wish they tried to just do it again, just do the practical again, or even if using CGI, recapture that. Because for example, when they're in the Saturn moon, right? In the Saturn moon in the first movie, it's crappy effects. When they're running around, there's an outline around the actors. I wanted to see
yeah.
the outline again because that is the canon that they've established. In this world, people have an outline, and I was like, all right, where's my outline? And they cleaned it. And I'm like, why did you clean it up? It's supposed to look like this. Keep it like this. You know, it's like if Yoda in episode 8, if Yoda was back to being CGI instead of a puppet. No, no, no. The canon is that he's a puppet at this age, so he should continue to be a puppet, which he is. So
And I'm
that's how
very
it.
glad. I'm very glad they didn't go digital on the worm. Like it was like
It
the
was
worm.
digital. It was
But it
It was
looked fake.
CGI, but
It
but
did
they
look
tried to
fake.
make it look like
Yeah.
they reverse faked it. But why didn't they just do it practically again?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do we know? Do we know that
Oh,
there
you can
was
tell.
no?
Yeah, you can tell it's CGI.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I know for a fact. I know for a fact that shark attack
Hmm.
at the first was CGI. CGI.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
that
mean, look,
was.
if there's like a behind
Yeah.
the scenes thing, put it in the comments for us. Let us know. But
Yeah, I want
I,
to know. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of
I'm
curious.
pretty sure it was CGI, and then they messed up the frame rate so that it would look stop motiony. You know,
So that might be it. Yeah,
because stop
that could be
motion,
it.
it's like I think 12 frames per second.
But they did make it look like clay. Like that was pretty cool that they
Hmm.
made it look that appearance. But yeah, but movie. I'm probably not gonna watch it again. But
Do you want a
it's
third one?
no, no. I mean, to be honest, like I said, I was not one of those people. That was a, I need Beetlejuice too. I need
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
Um,
Like I love that first movie, but some things are just perfect, and you don't mess with. And if they're gonna
yeah,
do it again, I'm like, okay, but after seeing this, I feel like I'm out. I'm like Beetlejuiced out. I'm
yeah.
good. I'm good. I don't
But
need a
you
I don't need a
also,
third
but,
one right now.
but you also did like 4 hours. I would be Beetlejuice out after that too.
I honestly, I felt good. I felt like I could keep going if things were better. It like my stamina is fine. It's just the Smallville guys disappointed me, dude.
No,
Like
I get
really,
you. I
the
get you.
script was there was like in my head I was like doing the calculus of like how many storylines is this? Who's the main? What is happening? Why jumping? The first movie's so simple. It's so simple, and this movie is just there's like two or three, and just pick one, commit to it, then save the third one.
I got one more character to
Yes,
bring up. I
yes,
got one
yes,
more
yes.
character. He's a great actor, and I love The Leftovers.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of Justin Thoreau in this show.
No, no. He
Yeah,
was one of the worst parts.
yeah, he's not good here. Like
He's
he
so.
seems.
I needed. I physically wanted him out of the movie every time. I'm
Yeah,
like, ah.
it started funny because like he says a line of dialogue that like made me laugh. Something like text diarrhea. I was like, oh man, we are in for a masterpiece because Justin Thoreau used the phrase text diarrhea in the first 5 minutes of this program. And I was like,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, where are we going with this? And the more it went along, his character got worse and
Terrible.
worse, and not even in a manner of him just being unlikable.
Hmm.
I just like the way he played the role felt off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I,
It didn't. It
I think it
felt.
goes to the writing. Maybe something about his performance. I don't know. I don't know. But to me, it just felt like the character was written for what? And I just didn't understand why Winona Rider was going along with the marriage too. I
Yeah,
didn't understand any of that. I didn't like it. I didn't need it. Just delete it.
yeah. It was strange. Now the whole line, I was like, that whole story plot could have been like an exercise, completely out of the film. And yeah, that's all I got, man.
That's all right. I just wish we had a whole movie of like the bride hunting down Beetlejuice, like Terminator style. Like that's what I thought this was going to be from the beginning. She has the awesome opening shot. You see her walking, walking, walking. I'm like, where is this going? And it doesn't go anywhere.
It would have been a much better movie because every time he's on the movie, it's great.
And
Like
I think it was
every
so
time.
genius because in the first movie, it's just like a 10-second reference when he's marrying, trying to marry Winona Ryder in the first movie, and he just mentioned you see a finger with a ring. He throws away the finger and he says she meant nothing to me. And that's it. And they took that little reference and they're like, let's build a whole idea around the Bride of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then give it to me.
But
Even recently, we were even talking about the Bride of Frankenstein and how much I love that movie. Right? It's a
yeah,
great idea. You have one great character, and then give him an evil bride. Let's go.
I do love the entire flashback where he dies.
Yeah,
Like where
yeah.
where we see how he dies, and it's all in. Is it Spanish? It's all in
Italian,
Spanish.
Italian, because it's
Italian.
a throwback to like Mario Bava movies.
Yeah, it's all in Italian, and it's so funny. It's so great. Um,
There's some real high highs in this movie. Like I don't want to just like delete it, erase the movie because there's some stuff
yeah.
here like Beetlejuice Baby. I love it. It's
I
so
want.
freaking weird and nasty. I'm like, all right, I like that.
Well, it's like I say. Anytime Michael Keaton's there, it's just on fire. And Willem Dafoe. I'm sorry, man. I love Willem Dafoe in this film.
Yeah, I
I
know, no,
don't.
I like him. I like him. I'm just the script. I just don't know what the why, dude. There was 36 years, and you could have come up with anything. Get do it right, and I just they were this close
Because,
to making an amazing movie. This close to making it amazing.
because they wanted Willem. Because by God, they wanted Willem Dafoe in the movie.
Oh, and you know
And
what's funny? They also have Burn Gorman as the priest. Do you remember him?
yeah,
And,
yeah, I
and
do. Yeah.
I watching this movie. I've never seen them like in the same movie together, and I was like, he looks kind of like he could be a like I don't know, like a Willem Dafoe like alternate brother or something. There's something about their faces, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's an idea. Somebody
It's
should do something with that idea.
the jaw.
It
You got
is
what
the
the
jaw, the
similar
weird face.
jaw.
Like
Yeah.
he's like the malformed clone of Willem Dafoe or something. Like make a movie based on that.
I
I
will
don't
say the other part that I was like, this is very odd
know.
when they're having the funeral
Hmm. Hmm.
and the choice of song is Mr. Tellyman telling me banana.
Yeah,
Like
you know why they picked that song, right?
I know why. I understand it from the first.
Okay, okay,
Why
okay.
is the choir singing it?
Because they want it to be like quirky and weird.
Uh, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
There's no subtlety with Burton at all.
I really feel like this needed to be tightened up in the edit. There is a great movie here. There is so much here that
Yeah.
could have been great if they just figured out what to cut, what to keep. Even like there's whole scenes that I just think dragged, and the whole scenes could have been just a little bit tighter. I think just it was
I'm
close.
not even.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it could have been great. Alas. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for watching us once again lose our minds. If you like this review, be sure to like and subscribe. Get us to 1,000. Leave a comment below. We read every comment. Are you interested in Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? What are your feelings about the first? Um, please let us know because we love to talk about these movies and we love to really hear what you guys think. I'm Vin. You can find me on Twitter at VinWrightsWords.
I am John. You can find me at John Movie Watch. And we need 1,000 subscribers. Get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes. And be sure to follow thecosmiccircus.com on Twitter at mycosmiccircus, where you can find more reviews, articles, editorials, and opinions like the one you just watched. Our friend James just published his written review, I think on Thursday, in fact. So go check it out. Go check out what he says too. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.